Welcome back. Bruce Millington, Dan Childs and James Milton looking ahead to two live Premier League games plus El Clasico taking place on Sunday starting at 1:30 at the Etihad. It's Man City versus Huddersfield. Man City 1-16, 25 Huddersfield, 11-1 the draw. Man City looking to get to 100 points. They will do that if they win 2 and draw 1 of their last 3 games or win them all. Huddersfield very much back in the relegation mire. So, James Milton, what will happen here?
I am splitting stakes between 3-0 and 4-0 Man City wins. I mean, we expected them to ease off a bit once they won the title. Their first game was 5-0 against Swansea. Swansea had 17% possession and 1 shot on target. I mean, it's so difficult to play against City because they have so much of the ball. And, Huddersfield have been struggling to create chances at the best of times this season. And I just don't really see where they're going to land a blow on City. They've lost 11 away games this season, Huddersfield. All of those were to 0. So I think it is a question of how many City rack up. And 3-0 and 4-0 does the business for me.
Childsy?
I'd go even a little bit stronger. I'm splitting stakes between 4-0 and 5-0. I mean, as James has mentioned, City are not easing off the gas. Having won the title, they're still, the results against Swansea and West Ham, and very, very positive performances, very high intensity still. From Huddersfield's point of view, you could see a lower scoring win if Huddersfield were going there for damage limitation. I don't actually think they will. I think they're looking to try and nick a point somewhere. Their goal difference is bad anyway, so it doesn't really matter if they get hammered here. Their goal difference against every other team other than Stoke is worse anyway. So they might as well, if they fall behind, try and get back and get something out of it. By doing that, it leaves themselves even more open and makes it more likely that City win by more goals.
The game at 4:30 is Chelsea versus Liverpool. It's the We've Got a Big Cup final coming up derby. 11-10 Chelsea, 21-10 Liverpool, 23-10 the draw. Is there anything on this? I can't remember whether Chelsea have got half a chance if they beat Liverpool here of forcing their way into the top 4.
They've got a chance, haven't they? Is it 5 points now, the gap, Dan? Or
a bit on it, really. I mean, there's 6 points, but Chelsea have got a game in hand, so you can look at it because Liverpool got the game up against Brighton at home on the final day, but at the end of the day, if Chelsea win the next 2 games, they go in level on points with Liverpool for the final day, which Liverpool are not going to want, are they?
Ooh, so there is some motivation here. With that in mind, James?
With that in mind, I'm going for the draw. I mean, a lot of Chelsea's games against the Big Six have been tight this season. Drawn twice with Arsenal, drew at Anfield 1-1, lost 1-0 at home and away to City. I think Liverpool are clearly a superior team. They've let it slip a little bit in the last couple of weeks, understandably, because of the Champions League, and they've actually drawn 3 of their last 4 games. But I think they will do enough, and the draw will be a great result for them. So possibly the 1-1 correct score for me.
Childsy?
I think there's a little bit of a lack of focus creeping in with Liverpool in the Premier League. I look at the last 2 performances. I know it's dictated by the Champions League taking all importance, but you look at the Stoke performance, the 0-0, the West Brom when they really just switched off and drawn 2-2 at the end of the game. I think Chelsea they've been focused for a while now. They've had 4 wins in a row, which is their best run since September. So they are doing all they can to try and nick into that 4th spot. This is their chance is gone if they don't win this. I think they might just win it. Liverpool, they put all their energy into the midweek game against Roma. I'm not sure they'll be fully focused on this. I think Chelsea might nick it.
Okay, it's 7:45 at Camp Nou. It's El Clasico, not the El Clasico, because that would be the Classic, wouldn't it? 8-13 Barcelona, 10-3 Real Madrid, 16-5 the draw. Barcelona have already wrapped up the title, so they can just sit back and kick the absolute shit out of each other. So we'll buy the bookings. Who's going to win it though, James?
It doesn't look a Classico, as it were, but I'd maybe go Barcelona and both teams to score. I mean, obviously Real Madrid have bigger fish to fry in Europe, and Barca can just enjoy it and hopefully put the boot in on a few of them.
Dan?
It's got to be Barcelona all the way. I mean, they've had 23 wins in the last 25 at home. I mean, what a time to play Real Madrid as well. I mean, they looked out on their feet, didn't they, towards the end of the game against Bayern Munich. Put so much into that game. If Zidane plays the same players, there's going to be tiredness there. If he makes changes, they'll be weaker. Barcelona have been looking at this game all week. It's still a big game for Barcelona, even though they won the title. I'd fancy them at odds on here.
Okay, I forgot to mention the 4:30 game at the Emirates. It's Arsene Wenger's last game at home as Arsenal manager after all these years, so it'll be very emotional. They're playing Burnley. Unfortunately, being the inefficient moron I am, I forgot to write down the prices. But who's going to win, James? Are you going?
I'm not going, actually, no. But I mean, a lot depends on Arsenal's second leg in Madrid in terms of the mood around the day. But yeah, maybe their home record in the league has been superb this season. Maybe Arsenal win and both teams to score. I'm sure Burnley will come up with some kind of set piece goal just to sign off the Wenger era in characteristic style, and then maybe Arsenal will rally late on.
Jolly good. Dan?
Not knowing the score, obviously, in the Atletico match is difficult here, but I just think with Arsene Wenger's last game in charge, there is a big class gap between the teams. There's no need to rest players once that tie's out of the way, so I think Arsenal to give him a winning send-off.
Very quickly, here's the latest from Paddy Power on the 2018-2019 Premier League season. 8-13 Man City, 9-2 Liverpool, 6 Man U, 10 Chelsea, 11 Tottenham, 25 Arsenal. In a very snappy sentence, where's the value, James Milton?
Man City Tottenham forecast.
If that's his definition of snappy, I'd hate to hear what happens when he decides to take his time.
I'll go for Manchester United. Look a little bit too big for me. Yeah, I'll do 6-1. I'll be on that.
Blimey. Okay. Don't forget, there's loads of postcast action going on. We've got the Greyhound Derby postcast right now. That's a really good laugh, that one. Dave Clark and the team with loads of tips. We've got a preview of the GAA All-Ireland Championship. That will be out on Friday afternoon. And don't forget as well, if you want to get genned up on the Racing Post, on the World Cup, the Racing Post World Cup guide is out now. Go to the Racing Post shop. You can buy that. That is an essential guide. And don't forget, if you enjoy listening to the podcasts, do please rate, review and subscribe on iTunes. We're back next Thursday with another football postcast.
Check out this offer from Paddy Power. It's money back as a free bet if Chelsea beat Liverpool this weekend. Available on all correct score, goal scorer and what odds Paddy markets. Max free bet £10. T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.